we are. Hello.
Hey!
Hey!
We don't have a lot today, you can see. We should have dragged that out for 29 more minutes. So, yes, your mom does that too? We were discussing this before we came on. I'll send my mom a text, and she answers it a week later. She goes, "You're on your way here?" I said, "Mom, that was a month ago."
I try to do as many. What I do is I try to do as many texts as possible. So I will do one text on the phone text, and then I'll do one on Facebook Messenger also. I said somehow she's going to see one of these.
Your mom's
somehow.
on Facebook Messenger? She'll look up there?
Yes, she is. She's pretty savvy.
She's social media savvy? My
She's
mom's pretty good too. She likes
For an 84-year-old woman, she is pretty savvy. Yes.
Yeah, my mom's a good texter. She loves the texting.
Yeah, my mother will text also.
She's a big texter.
Yes.
She's a big... Oh, look who's calling me, my nephew.
Is that Jared?
That's Jared. So funny. Oh, you know what?
Do you want to take the call?
No, it's all right. I'll leave it.
Do you know he knows you're on the air, right?
I don't think so. So I don't want to do that to him.
Oh.
But I did. I wanted to give you a little healthy snack.
I mean, I'll.
No?
Let me see what's in it.
Take what's in it. Tell us what's in
so
it. I got one too.
It's a cran nut mixed.
Cran nut. Well, you don't say it with a lot of gusto.
All right. Well, we got dried.
Well, we should do this in honor of this guy right here.
Richard Simmons.
We haven't been together since. We haven't been together since the passing of Richard Simmons. So I thought, in honor of Richard, I would give you a cran nut mix because he's kind of like that. He's a cran nut mix. I think that's the best way to describe the life of Richard Simmons. If I was doing his eulogy,
I just remember him saying things, because of all the food that you love, like Nathan's hot dogs and.
Well, you're talking about Richard.
Richard, he
not
said,
Jack. Yeah.
He told someone one time, "There's nothing that tastes that good that will,"
Right.
It's just like, oh my God.
Now, did you ever? I don't know if they're going forward with it, but did you see the Pauly Shore trailer?
I have not seen the Pauly Shore.
You should watch it. It's about 8 minutes.
Wow.
And it's set just like where he's doing a talk show, and then he goes and he sees this kid that's an associate producer on the show. Off to the side, he's overweight, and he's sitting by himself, and they have a conversation. That's really what the trailer is.
Right.
I forget what it's called. It's whatever, but he didn't put his stamp of approval. He
Yes,
didn't authorize
he didn't. Yeah,
it.
he
He wanted
did
no
not.
part of it. I still find it weird. He passes the day after his birthday. His birthday was on a Friday, and he was on. I talked about this last week. He was on Facebook.
There's
saying
a picture.
Thank you.
They took a picture of him, right? Somebody took a picture of him, right?
What, dead?
No, alive, right
Oh.
before he died. Like
Oh,
a day.
really?
It was like the day before he died.
Well, he was home, and he was
Yeah.
just with his housekeeper. I think she killed him.
Going back to this housekeeper again.
It's always the house. I feel like
Well,
it's the
that's
housekeeper.
what they've been always very suspicious of this
right?
woman.
That TMZ did a thing, and,
Yes.
and they've always been following, and it's, And here's the tricky part. I've watched my mom watches a lot of this true crime.
Right.
I watch some Forensic Files, and I've been watching. I told you about this other stalker thing, and I feel like and let me ask you guys this: if you found a body, are you going to call that in, or are you just going to be like, I got to get out of here? Because all of a sudden you're going to be, you think you're
Implicated.
Right? That's what I mean. You call and you go, oh, I found a dead person. Maybe you're jogging. Maybe I'm jogging on the path. And I
Possibly.
see an arm, just a hand and now it leads to an arm and a body and dead, and I call it in. Now all of a sudden I'm on trial for murder. That's how quick it happens.
Kind of like those people in Babylon. Whatever they were up to with those.
Right. But
Yeah.
they
lived in Amityville, but they had those pieces.
They found, what happened with them?
and,
They found pieces of body?
Yeah, they never really, I guess the trial hasn't started yet. I don't know what's going on with that, So
Okay.
legal Long Island reporter Tony know anything about that?
You heard about that
I
story?
do believe some of them have already been sent to jail.
Okay.
Right.
I'll check that out.
That's correct.
The
But it's
trailer,
weird. They really didn't say that they did anything.
right?
That's
They
the
didn't
thing.
commit the crime. They just found the bodies and chopped them up. Or
Yeah, that's
something.
what you want
Well,
to do.
The Pauly Shore Richard Simmons thing is called the court jester.
The court jester. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, that's the court jester. Mm-hmm. Now, there's there's so much news going on, right? You have, and this is going to be a good segment. I'm going to play this in a minute for Steve and Tony, but because there's this old presidential stuff going on.
Oh yeah.
And we don't talk politics here.
No, we don't talk politics.
I don't like to get
here.
into heavy anything, religion, politics.
No,
This show is about fluff, but I do have this. what is your gym nickname? I thought this would be fantastic. So what is your gym nickname?
Okay.
What is the month and the day of your birthday? Your what month?
November?
November. So that's your cardio and the day.
God. Already, this is a lie. 7.
Your cardio bra. Do you see? So you look up
I am so not cardio bra.
your cardio bra. So what am I? I'm March.
Okay.
What's March?
Another lie. Quitter.
No. March says March.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at. Oh, I'm sorry. Massive.
Massive. And 31st.
Gorilla.
Massive gorilla. I like that. Tony, what's your month?
April.
April says little.
Little,
yeah,
yes.
Little,
makes
but
sense.
what's the date?
28.
Oh, little beauty. A little beauty. Now, that was great. Didn't Elizabeth Taylor star in that? Wasn't that the story about the horse?
Little Beauty.
No.
Well, you're getting confused with Black Beauty, but she wasn't in Black Beauty.
wa-
She was in National Velvet.
National Velvet.
Yes.
Ew. I almost.
You're a little lost there.
I was lost somewhere
Yes.
in there, but I found my way back. And by the way, velvet is such a breathable material in the summer. Talking about, you were just at a concert. Tell people what show you saw.
Went to see the Foo Fighters on last Wednesday.
And unfortunately, it had a little rain.
They had a little rain, and they had the lightning was out there, and they canceled the show. 30 seconds into Everlong, they had to stop, and we had to go. Now, ever since Everlong will be now known as Evershort, but you know,
See, if I had a drop, I would give you that. Do you have something on it? We don't have. Don't worry about it.
it's all right.
That's all right. Steve knows he's funny. Oh, he cricketed. He gave you the cricket.
Wow.
But-
Because you pay Tony. That's why.
That is
That's it works. That's how.
That's
it
how I
works.
do it. That's how life works. You pay for what you get. Speaking of which, I wish I forgot the name of these plumbers. They came to my folks' house. These guys, father and son, they were really, really good. These good plumbers. These are guys I know because they had done plum work for us earlier.
Plum work?
They've plumbed before.
Because we know how much you love plums.
I
Just
do-
one, Steve. Just have
one.
a plum.
I do love plums.
One.
And so
you won't
these
eat
guys were very good plumbers. But yeah, you pay for it. But so I don't understand. So they only but did you see like lightning? Did it look cool from the stage? It must have looked cool.
It looked kind of out back.
Scary?
Yeah, you could see it from the bay. Yeah, it was just annoying
It was annoying because you knew they were going to cancel the show.
because all that money I spent and I could have picked the Friday night show instead.
I still feel
Only because I went to see the Pretenders and Wolfgang Van Halen.
but you got to see them.
I did get to see Wolfgang Van Halen and the Pretenders. Mammoth WVH is his band is known as.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now, don't you think? I'll set this up. You're going to see Sammy Hagar.
Yes.
Good. And don't you think that'd be pretty cool if Wolfgang played together with Sammy? Did they ever do that?
Wolfgang has played with Van Halen. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
That would be pretty cool.
But yeah, I don't know.
Not with Sammy. He's
Yeah.
never played with
Not
Sammy.
with Sammy.
No,
okay.
not with Sammy.
Now, speaking of performances, talk to me a little about that fantastic performance at the Major League batting home run
National,
derby.
the home run derby national anthem.
Wait,
Classic.
I got her name here. Well, I have never heard of her. People
She's
have
a-
Ingrid Andreas.
She's a big country star.
big country star who left home hammered. She says, I don't believe it. She says she was a little tipsy. I don't believe it.
So what do you think she wasn't if she wasn't hammered?
Horrible. Sometimes people are bad,
I mean-
and they are made into a star through what's called auto-tune.
Did you listen to her other music?
I
Maybe?
have not. I haven't. Have you? Do you know her as
No,
an
I
artist?
don't know her music.
I mean, do you think? So you think that was it? She was just drunk, and
I
nobody
think
knew this.
Nobody at Major League Baseball would have said no. They wouldn't have said.
But how do they have? They must have had a rehearsal. You know, from setting this up, they don't do a run through, a sound check. They don't,
I would think they would.
and nobody came and said, "I think this girl's hammered."
Do they have a plan B in a situation?
That's
Like
what I
if,
mean.
if somebody knew, would they be able to pull her and throw somebody else in there?
I would think they would. I mean, you know what?
Yeah.
Dallas is a big town. I'm sure they could have found some other talented singer of any kind of genre to come up there and sing the national anthem and do some justice to it.
So they start. This was what stupid was. They're like, oh, this was horrible. It was like the Roseanne Barr one, but Roseanne Barr's not a singer, and she did that stupidly.
Kind of did that on purpose. Yes.
Right? So that's not. You can't. This girl's a Grammy supposed singer. Roseanne Barr's not a singer. But they also, and I haven't heard the Fergie one they talk about at the NBA All-Star game. They said that was a debacle too.
I don't know that one.
That was a big. Did you ever hear that one? Yeah. Fergie did an NBA All-Star game, and she did a weird version. It was very.
Oh, did they get? I mean, there was that whole period where everyone went Mariah Carey on all these versions of the national anthem when they were just,
I'd like a clean version.
Get it over with.
Go through it. You don't have to hold notes. Stop showing off.
Now everybody thinks that the greatest national anthem recital at any event was the Whitney Houston at the Super Bowl. But that doesn't really count, to be honest with you, because that was pre-recorded.
Right.
And she lip-synced. Granted, it was her own voice and everything, but they did that in the studio before she got out there to,
yes,
to do it.
No, I like live. Well, it was, I was watching some halftime shows. Dolly Parton, I didn't even know. She did one only a couple of years ago.
Sure.
She was dressed as a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. Looked fantastic.
Of course. What else would, yeah.
Oh, I love, I love Dolly.
Who doesn't?
Oh, boy. She's great. I was watching a special, and she's got another thing coming out. Boy, talk about she's got money.
Well, she just put out an album, actually it was like with a lot of extras, too, of just rock and roll covers.
Wow.
And she worked with Paul McCartney and Steven Tyler and just a whole bunch of people where she worked with.
She's fantastic.
Plus, she did a pretty cool version of "We Will Rock You" and "We Are the Champions."
I just heard.
Actually,
that.
it is "We Are the Champions," and then she goes and ends it with
"We Will Rock You."
"We Will Rock You."
She says here, "I was drunk performing anthem. Will get treatment."
Okay.
Treatment on her singing or treatment on the drinking? Is she going to get a voice lesson or what's she actually getting help with?
Well, look,
Look at this love. This is love right there. Richard Simmons. I love that.
Maybe that should have been. Have you ever thought of making that as your book, writing a book about him?
I looked it up. There is some kind of bio that I don't know if he did or somebody did. There is a biography on Richard Simmons. I've never seen, but yes, I would like to. It was actually, when I was thinking after the Jacqueline, I was like, who would I like to write next? And I was thinking between Richard Simmons, but then I was like thinking of Evel Knievel, because I thought his life was famous, or not famous, obviously it was famous, interesting. And lo and behold, Derek Jeter, Derek.
Of course. We're close.
Of course you are. Jeter. So he produced, now when they say he produced, whatever, I don't know.
He had his money on.
Right, wrote a check. So, but he's doing, I love the History Channel, Icons That Helped Build America. And they had Shock Jocks first, Stern and Rush Limbaugh.
Right.
Last night they did Letterman and Jerry Springer.
Okay.
And they're doing, next week is Evel Knievel and Bruce Lee. So they do two comparative stories. There's always two.
So it's the History Channel, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the History Channel, and, they'll go to the experts like Adam Richman.
That right. He's always exactly.
They take all the food people from the original
That's what
shows,
I don't understand.
and then
Isn't he a food guy?
Let's put Adam in everything. Adam's got a stand at City Field. I think we talked about this.
Yeah.
He's selling burgers over there.
I don't know why but I don't think he's in this, or maybe he is. It probably is because he's in all those History Channel things.
He's probably in the Jeter one too.
But the funny thing was, I didn't know Jerry Springer, and again, this is me. You probably I know this. He was a politician.
Yes, he was. He was mayor of Cincinnati.
One of the youngest, or the youngest.
He was one of the youngest. He was the youngest mayor of Cincinnati.
And it was right after he had a little.
He had a little run-in with a prostitute. Excuse me. I know we got to clean that up. I forget Steve's relatives are listening.
Well, you could say prostitute.
Well, I know. Steve will always say to me,
no, prostitute's fine. That's okay. Or lady of the evening.
A hooker?
A hooker? I thought that's that thing you go to in the Middle East with the rugs. No? That's a hooker. No, I don't. She was a prostitute or
A lady of the evening.
a lady of the evening.
Escort.
An escort, you might say.
You might say.
Anything else, Tony? What else might you say? You have any other words for what Jerry Springer ran into?
Not if your family's watching. No.
Okay. Oh,
And so
ba-dum-bum.
Jerry
Right.
still ran, and he apologized. His commercials
Yes.
are basically him apologizing for what he did.
He apologized. I did not know she was a hooker. I am so sorry. I love when politicians have to do that stuff.
And he also ended up being a commentator on local television, which is how he got
Which
on
is
the
how he-
news.
right.
Which is how he got.
And then
got on there.
then we know the Letterman story. We've heard it a million
Letterman
times.
I know by heart,
that we
of
know.
course.
So it was interesting though. They were showing some great clips of the morning show he had
Right.
that felt very awkward. It was very.
I've gone
Did you
to
go
see.
to that?
Let me tell you how many tapings I went to see of that. So I was in summer.
I knew it.
First thing, I was just TV crazy, and I kept track of everything. So anything that would be taping at 30 Rock, which was not a lot back then, outside of Saturday Night Live, and you could never get Saturday Night Live tickets. So I would always, if I was in the city, I would go stop in the ticket booth, whatever. Well, as soon as I saw that this David Letterman show was coming on, I sent for tickets.
But did you know of him?
Yeah, he was popular. He was hot at that time. He was Carson's main
Right. He came on as a lot as the comic. Yeah.
but
yeah.
he was Carson's main fill-in.
Yep.
He was doing most of the fill-ins more so than anyone else at that time. That was the late 70s. He was
Right.
doing a lot of fill-ins, and he was getting a lot of publicity. So they signed him to a deal. NBC did, and they put him on. Fred Silverman, the genius that he wasn't so much of a genius at NBC. The other two networks, he did amazing things. NBC was kind of off kilter. He thought David Letterman could be the next Arthur Godfrey, and in 1980, and wanted to do 90 minutes of him chit-chatting with people, doing helpful hints and, very old-fashioned stuff.
Right.
No way in the world were they going to do that.
Right,
Were they
not
gonna
his stuff, yeah.
Are they going to do that? They figured, I don't know if they didn't think the show was going to last. Of course not. So they just figured, let's just do a good show, even though it's on in the middle of the morning and most people won't understand. It was the most surreal program ever. And
I wonder if you could see full episodes.
there's a lot of there's some stuff available on YouTube. So I got tickets,
Right.
and by that time, it had just horrible reviews already.
Okay.
And as famous as Letterman was, he wasn't that famous.
Right.
So, and with that plus the reviews, you'd go in there and you'd see the taping and everything. And as you were walking out the lobby, they'd be giving away tickets. You want tickets? Got tickets.
Oh my God.
So I did that about two more times.
Wow.
I cut summer school that year. I was taking geometry
Why were you taking geometry, summer school geometry?
because I flunked geometry.
Oh,
And,
I thought you were trying to be a geometrist.
no,
It's a lucrative field.
I remember. I remember.
My
that,
mom wanted me to be a geometrist, but I didn't like rocks.
I remember that day well too because I remember that summer too because I was horrible. I was doing
Was that
horribly.
was that the summer of love?
I was doing horribly. No, it was not the summer of love.
Oh.
I was doing horribly in geometry, and I was going to see David Letterman a few times in the city. I got a call at home from my geometry teacher, and he says,
He called your home?
"Yes, he did." He said, "Steve, do you think you can be coming in anytime soon?"
Oh my God.
He was a very dry guy,
Now-
and I did. And this is the miracle. As we leave the Letterman thing for a minute, all we did was like old Regents exams.
Right, to prepare you for.
They
You
were-
had to take a
I
test,
wasn't
right?
even close. Wasn't even close to 65. I was like,
And they passed
and my
you.
cousin tutored me, and for some reason I got a 75 on the Regents. You still don't know how that
Now,
happened.
geometry is with the shapes,
With the shapes,
right?
Yes, the algorithms and the
Like
theorems,
the Pythagorean theorem. A
Ex-
squared plus B squared equals C squared.
exactly. Yeah, obviously,
Oh.
you saw
I
Good
know
Will
you.
Hunting, so you know these things.
Well, of course, I learned everything from TV. I never even went to school. All my whole education is from sitcoms and from movies.
So yeah, that was that. But that summer was great because God, that Letterman show was amazing.
I
It
didn't.
was
That
just like-
show was. I didn't. That was in the 70s.
That was no
Or
1980.
early-
The summer of 1980.
The summer was 80. Was the talk
yeah,
show?
summer of 1980.
Oh wow! So that and it's funny because they say, he was devastated. The show gets canceled.
Yeah.
But he wins an Emmy.
You won an Emmy.
It won an Emmy.
Yes.
So it was like weird. Like,
it was.
How he won an Emmy for a show that was canceled, and it was only, what was it, a season or 2 seasons? 1 season?
No, it was on from like June till like October.
Oh, just not even a.
Yeah. And and supposedly he got into a fight with his girlfriend. His girlfriend was Meryl Marco, who is a big reason, who really is the really started for Letterman. All these things she did was her idea. Stupid pet tricks, viewer
Right,
mail.
yes.
Doing remote spots, doing remote stories,
Yes, all
remote
Oh, I
shoots.
used to love all that stuff.
That was her. She really, and he'll
Now
definitely give.
that was his first wife?
No, it was his girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
He was divorced with his first wife by then.
He was divorced. So he's just been married, Letterman. This is his second
Twice.
wife?
This is his second wife.
And that he's been with her for a while.
Yeah.
And he has a child with that.
And they have,
They have a child.
But it was just so funny because she, he was fighting with her before after the show was canceled, and he supposedly yelled at her saying, "You see, John Davidson still has a talk show."
Oh, of course. Who doesn't love John Davidson?
Which shows you what people think.
Now,
he didn't even know what he had back then.
I got a question for you. You were talking about Letterman. We were trying to figure out what wife is Stern on. Is Stern married, Howard Stern?
He is married.
Is this his second wife?
It's his second wife.
And does he have children?
He's got 3 daughters.
Does he really? Howard
Yes.
Stern? Any of them in the entertainment world?
No, not that I know of.
Okay. See, because I know Stallone has about 7 daughters that are in
Yes.
the entertainment world.
Yeah.
And of course, Bob Newhart. Now, did you ever see Bob Newhart live?
I saw him at Barnes & Noble.
Bob Newhart passed away
I saw him at Barnes & Noble in
Carr
Carr Place.
In Barnes & Noble in Carr Place?
Somewhere I have a signed book.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. Now, did you like Bob Newhart, Tony? Were you a Bob Newhart fan?
Yes.
Thanks.
Bob Newhart.
Bob Newhart. Now,
Yes,
which
fantastic.
we talked about this. Which show did you like? Did you like the first? What were the second one was called what?
Newhart.
And the first one was the Bob Newhart
The
show.
Bob Newhart show.
I liked the first one with Suzanne Plachette.
That was a great show.
Because because the cast was great. He had Phil Heel, Major Nelson,
Phil Healy.
whatever his name was his
Bill Daly.
Bill Daly.
Bill Daly played Howard.
Played Howard. He
Yes.
was hysterical. He was a
Yes,
great
he
actor.
was.
And the guy that played the dentist.
Yes. Peter Bonerez.
Wow, Steve.
I just saw, because I was looking through some Newhart stuff that I was going to use for the show last week, my radio show last week. And there was a clip from Bob Newhart where Raul Julia played Jerry's brother, who was another dentist, and there was all this competition
funny.
between them.
Yeah, that's hysterical. That was on the Bob Newhart show?
Yes.
I think I vaguely remember that. That's
I mean, you can't compare the two. They were both 2 amazing
look at this.
shows.
Look at this statue that they have of
Yes,
Bob Newhart
in
You see him?
Chicago.
The-
That's
the
in
thinking-
Chicago, yeah.
the thinking statue.
Yeah,
Now,
in his that's his chair.
that's
It's,
his chair.
Yeah.
94 years old.
94. Yeah.
94. It says
Yep.
here, Bob Newhart. This was in 2004 with his bronze likeness. And he has his wife Ginny. I don't know if are they.
Ginny died a few years ago.
Is that right?
Yeah, but they were married for forever. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
It says master of timing and delivery in his 3 namesake sitcoms, Big Bang. He had 3 sitcoms?
He had more than that actually. There was the Bob Newhart show.
Mm-hmm.
There was Newhart. Then there's another show called Bob.
That I never saw.
And then there was another show Bob didn't last too long. And then they did another show with Judd Hirsch. They did a sitcom called George and Leo. And George, he played George. George is his real first name, his birth first name. It's George Robert Newhart.
Oh, that's funny.
So he's always...
Interesting. The comic legend and actor, yes. Bob. Did he ever do movies? Was he in anything?
He's done a few movies.
Anything
yes.
we would know?
Elf.
Oh, of course. Duh.
He did Elf. He did a great. Norman Lear did a great movie before he did all. Not too long before he did All in the Family, called. Oh my God, what was the name of it? Now I can't think of it. Oh, Cold Turkey. It starred Dick Van Dyke, and the cigarette company paid this whole town all this money to quit smoking to make them look good. But the truth was, they knew they weren't.
Dick Van Dyke.
Dick
There he
Van
is.
Dyke.
There he is. Oh my God.
That's that was from the night when they were honoring him,
Yes.
right? In that little chitty bang bang car.
The guy who made this car was
On the
in
show?
studio a couple weeks ago.
Get
Oh,
out of
wow.
here.
Yeah, he's a Long Island guy. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that's
on the show.
No, that's
fantastic.
great.
I love
Oh,
it.
It's so cool. But yeah, Cold Turkey. And Bob Newhart played kind of like one of these sleazy cigarette company guys, who's.
Yes.
But he's done some good movies.
Well, he was also in with Reese Witherspoon. Didn't he do the second one of the what are they called?
Legally Blonde
too.
Yeah.
He was.
He did. He was in a movie with Gilda Radner called First Family
Yes.
when he played the president.
Yes. Oh, and that's a perfect lead-in.
There we go.
That's the lead-in I was waiting for. Steve always brings it home.
That's what I'm here for.
I don't even have to give him the signal. He knows how to bring it home. So I was actually going to think of actors, and I made a list, and I'm going to test you because I know you're really good at this, of actors who have played presidents. Because we're in this presidential season, and there's all this hubbub and a lot of mixing and matching and substitutions now.
Hullabaloo.
They called in a substitution right now. This is what they did.
How they give the sign?
We need the lefty. Bring him in from the bullpen. Really? It's only the 7th inning. Bring him in. We need him. They might have to go 3 innings. It's postseason time. This is not a 3-out save right here. This is a 9-out save. You can't give a 9-out. That's back in the 70s.
This call to the White House is brought to you by Verizon.
It's brought to you by DEET.
Teats.
Enjoy DEET. Cover your body in DEET. It's fine. It's also brought to you by Celsius, another proud non-sponsor of the Steve Squared Show. And meat.
Meat.
Flavorful meat.
Yes. We love the flavorful meat.
I do, and that's why I'm lobbying for Stop and Shop to stay open. They are.
Well, most of them are going to stay open.
They'll be okay?
There's
I'm a little
only 2 of them
worried.
on Long Island.
All right. If you say so. So here we go. Here are presidents. I want you to tell me.
I'm not looking at this.
No. I'll say the actor. Well, I'll mix it up.
drink
Bill,
like
what president did Bill Murray portray, and in what movie? Bill Murray.
Bill Murray
And you could jump in, Tony, if you know.
played a president.
And you should know this because it was a big movie.
It was a big movie.
And he was nominated for an Academy Award.
In this movie,
Yes, in this. Well, not in Stripes.
where he played a president.
He played a president. It was really out of character for him.
Oh my goodness!
Thought you would know this.
I thought I would too. George Washington.
No, Franklin Roosevelt in Hyde Park on the Hudson. Hyde Park on the
Oh
Hudson.
my God! Yeah, that's right. Oh
got
wow!
nominated.
Was that a theatrical? Or was that an HBO movie?
No, that was in the that was a
Really?
big theater movie. He was nominated.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
All right, let's try another one. Who portrayed George Bush in the movie W?
that would be Timothy Bottoms.
No.
Uh,
Close. Not really. I just like to say close.
W. Who played W?
And his father just had a birthday. He turned 84, I think, or 85.
His father turned.
Who was also a very big actor.
I'm gonna kick myself.
I think you will.
I don't know.
Steve 0 for 2. You're not starting the game off good.
listen, I
Josh Brolin.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of the other.
Was there another George Bush movie?
No, there was another George Bush series.
Oh, no,
from,
this was a movie.
from Trey Parker from
All right, let's get you
South Park.
Let's get you back.
Love
on.
That Bush was the name of the show.
Of course it was.
And I think Timothy
That
Bottoms.
he can say. He doesn't worry about prostitute, but that he says.
But that's the name of the TV show.
All right. Let me get you back in a roll. You're in a slump. You're slumping. You're fouling balls off, and now you're swinging in the dirt. Steve's
I
going
know,
for the
it's-
slider
it's-
away, or as they now say in
I-
baseball, the sweeper. Let's give you something. All right, this is easy. Frank Langella. You know.
Frank Angel played Nixon in Frost Nixon.
There you go.
There you go.
I
I'm
knew I
back
could.
home,
You're
baby.
back, baby. Alan Rickman. Who did he portray? This is a
Alan-
tough one
Alan Rickman. It was
because this is really tough. You probably
Yes.
shouldn't get this.
Alan Rickman. He played in that Forrest Whitaker movie. He
Yes,
played
yes.
he played Ronald Reagan.
Yes, the butler.
Yes.
In the butler, he played Ronald. No, let's mix it up a little bit. In a TV series, who portrayed a female president? The name of the character was Mackenzie Allen in Commander in Chief. It was a TV series on ABC, one of the best networks around.
Well, this is a
They're
fake.
third out of 4.
This is a fake president, of course.
Of course. Well, it was I gave it away. I started to say it. You didn't hear me?
I didn't hear.
Oh.
Commander in Chief. I don't know.
Gina Davis.
Gina Davis. That's right. Which didn't last too long.
No, that wasn't a very good series.
Didn't get good reviews.
All right, let's get you back rolling. Bryan Cranston,
LBJ.
LBJ.
Which on Broadway first, and then in the movie.
And what was the movie called?
LBJ all the way with LBJ.
There you go. Harrison Ford,
Harrison Ford
another fine president.
played President
and not a bad actor, too.
Played President Branch Rickey. No, I'm kidding. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
He was president. This is hard. President James Marshall in Air Force One.
Oh, okay. Now we're going. Now you got to tell me if they're fake presidents.
No.
or
All right.
real
You want me to do that?
presidents.
Tell you if they're fake or not?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All
No,
right.
don't do it.
No,
Don't do it.
you should be fine in
I'll
this.
be on my own.
Yeah, you'll be on your own.
I'm fine. I'm a big
Daniel
boy.
Day-Lewis
Lincoln.
Of course. In
Lincoln.
as
Lincoln.
right. Now, who else portrayed Abraham Lincoln in Young Mr. Lincoln?
That would be Henry Fonda.
Very good. Who was also wonderful on Golden Pond, you know. What am
I was waiting for a joke there, but no, you actually, yes,
No,
you're
no,
very
no.
good.
12 Angry Men.
12 Angry Men.
I can definitely
Great movie.
relate to 12 Angry Men right now. I have the title of my new book, The Great Depression. It's the story, it's my own biography. Anyway, I'll see my therapist. This is it. You'll never get this. Who played Ulysses S. Grant? Which is one of our finest presidents. What money is he on, Ulysses S. Grant? The $3.50 bill?
Something like that.
Okay. So Ulysses S. Grant in How the West Was Won. And I only say this because he was in one of my favorite TV sitcom shows.
Fred McMurray.
Mr. Potter. Or not Mr. Potter. Not Mr. Potter. Colonel Potter.
Henry Blake. No, Harry Morgan.
Harry Morgan. I'm sorry. I screwed you up. Oh, boy.
This is a really,
this is
actually,
tough.
this is a tough category. This is one of your toughest categories.
All right. Here we go. President Jed Bartlett.
Oh, come on, Steve. We know.
What a great show.
Yes, The West Wing with
And who played him?
Mr. Martin Sheen.
Mr. Martin Sheen. Great show. Okay. Who portrayed the current Republican nominee, Donald Trump, on Saturday Night Live? Now, there's many.
Well, there's many. There's the Alec Baldwin and the
That's
James
what
Austin Green.
Who
Who
did you
James
like
Austin
best?
Green does a pretty
He does a good one.
He does actually a very funny
He's
one.
probably funny,
You
yeah.
know, Alex is very cynical, and it's absolutely, but he's all the whimsy stuff about Trump this guy does. It's just, it's hysterical.
I got a tough one for you. But this is a trivia one.
If you could do anything hysterical
Which
like that.
actor portrayed a fictional president and a real president? He's the only one that's portrayed a fictional
Fictional
in a movie
in a movie.
and a real president in a movie.
Martin Sheen?
No.
No. Okay.
You're not going to get this one. It's impossible.
William Devane.
No. One more guess.
Henry Fonda.
I think William Devane. I think William Devane is correct.
Is it?
Didn't he play a president on 24?
He might have, right?
And then he's played Kennedy.
And he's played Kennedy,
so
The
that
Winds of October,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
was a TV
Yeah,
play.
this was two movies.
Henry Fonda played a
Lincoln?
fake president, and he played
Who was the fake president he played?
in Failsafe.
Oh, you're right. That's right. Well, the one I had was James Cromwell.
Very good.
He was played George Bush Sr.,
Right,
and he played the president in Some of Fears with Ben Affleck.
right. But look at that. I got
That's
very
very
yeah.
good. Both of you.
Look at
Very
that.
good.
Wow.
One of our favorite comedians. Who did Robin Williams portray?
Dwight Eisenhower.
Well, That's not the one I'm thinking of.
Oh.
I'm doing it more silly.
But he did play Dwight
He
Eisenhower.
did. Robin Williams
In The Butler.
in the Night of the Museum. Night at the Museum.
Oh, he was Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy
of
Roosevelt,
course,
of
of course.
course.
Wow, he played two
He
presidents.
played
Look at
two
that.
presidents. Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen.
How do I have Joel Osteen on this list? No, he didn't play. He actually, I was watching him last night. He asked me for his support.
Everything is
If you'd like to support me, I'll give you my book, 55 Ways to Support Me.
everything.
That's the name of the
is
book.
Great.
55 Ways to Support. Do you like the life you're living? You don't, do you? I wish I was a TV evangelist. I could help people.
Tell you that you're going to be. God wants you to be rich.
God wants me to be
God
rich.
wants you to be rich.
He wants me to be rich so you can look up to somebody. My name's Joel Osteen, and boy, look at all those smiling faces out there. I'm here to save you. I know you're down. I know times are tough. They weren't always good for me either, but look at me now. I got a 32-acre spread out in the, my wife loves that. She loves to take a dip in the pool while we count our money. I need you to support me. I'm very excited. The World Games is coming. Not the Olympics. The World Games. Now, let me give you a couple of the sports that are in the World Games. No.
Curling.
Curling is not in it because curling's in the Olympics. These are
that's-
non-Olympic sports. These are sports that they're what they call auditioning to be an Olympic sport.
Bowling.
Bowling is in it. Very good. Anything else? Take a guess. This is good. Steve likes to play games. This is a game show. Let's turn the Steve Squared Show into the game show.
Shuffleboard.
Things with arms.
Bird.
Good.
Okay.
You gotta love yourself. Let's exercise, bitches.
Richie Simmons.
Things
Things
Richie
Richie Simmons would say.
Right,
Yeah.
Bitches.
Yeah, I can say
Yes,
that.
he did.
Why? Steve said it's internet radio. I can say anything I want.
Your mom's listening.
She enjoys that.
She enjoys when you
We
curse.
need to be on the $25,000. Is it 25 or is it 50? Oh no, it's 100.
I think it's 100.
It's 100. When it first started, it was the $10 pyramid.
10.
Back in the Depression days when they had the game show, it was $10.
I saw a taping of that too back in the day.
Of course you have. Now, you
makes fun of me. Of
no,
course, he's-
but does Tony know that Steve was on a game show? I think you know
Actually, I
this.
think I do.
I think we've talked about
And I
Yeah.
can't find. Try to find that video, and I can't. I don't think it's up anymore. That was. He had one of the best looking polyester blue suits.
It was
on.
it was a turquoise suit.
What was the fabric?
It was like your typical suit you would get at Oak Tree.
I don't know what Oak Tree is.
Yeah, it was one of these mall stores. They were
In
Oak
LA,
Trees.
right?
They were all over. They
Oh,
were
really?
they were in the malls here too. Yeah, it was pretty disgusting.
But you won some cash on that show.
I did. A few
Right?
dollars. Few dollars.
A few dollars. Did you ever see the clip of it?
No, Tony.
I
knows.
don't recall seeing. I know the story, but I don't recall.
And one of
seeing
the
it.
oh yeah, it was great. While Steve looks that up, I'm going to give some of the other sports that are in the World Games that you can watch. Tug of war.
Oh, cool.
Tug of war. What do you think of that?
I like that.
That's good, right?
They should bring back Battle of the Network Stars.
Yes, I just watched the
I'm
clip of that. I watched
surprised,
Heather.
yes.
Was it Heather or somebody going up the thing, getting knocked down?
Heather Locklear.
Howard Cosell would do it.
He was. That's right. It was
That's right. So wait, we have fishing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people just fish. You
Really?
just watch people fish. I guess whoever catches the biggest fish. Combat juggling. So what happens is
Combat
people juggle 3 bowling pins,
Yeah.
and you have to. The other people can come in their face and try to distract them, but you have to keep your 3 going, so you
Wow.
can like make them not miss. Very exciting. I said racquetball, tug of war, bowling, racquetball.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah, racquetball I think is fun. They have so they have a lot of things. I had some ideas because you can go into worldgames.org and suggest sports you'd like to see. Now I made a list of some things I'd like to see.
Let's go. Let's see. What would you like to see?
Thumb wrestling. I thought would be a nice. You know, it brings countries together. Thumb wrestling.
We were actually doing that on my show for a while.
Thumb wrestling.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Are you a good thumb wrestler?
No, I lost quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thumb wrestling, I think. Now you got to watch out because thumb wrestling is big in the Eastern Germany bloc. They're usually on anabolics and they usually have big thumbs. So that's always a problem. Big thumbs. I dated a girl once back in
What does it say about big
junior
thumbs?
high. She had big thumbs. Holding your breath. Holding- what do you think about that? Two people hold their
Pretty
breath.
funny.
Right? U.S. could take the gold in that. How about go punch for punch in the stomach? Did you ever do that as a kid? You try to see if you could take
Yes.
somebody's hardest punch? You know, that's how Harry Houdini died. He used to, that's exactly how he died. He used to, that was his shtick. People used to come up and punch him in the stomach because he had a rock hard stomach. Somebody punched him, he wasn't ready, and he got internal damage that night. He died in his sleep.
Oh, I had no idea.
Did you know that story?
I did know that. I read Houdini's biography for a school project.
Oh, wow. These are two others. A stare contest.
Oh, that's fun.
Two guys stare at each other. Were you good in stare? Oh, he's already doing it. I'd like to put you up against my client's dog, Astro. That dog
Astro.
never blinks.
Oh my God!
The demonic dog.
I would lose to that dog. I'm afraid. I see
You can't. Well, you're not supposed to look in his eyes.
I've never
He's very
met.
scared.
I've
You'll
never met him personally. I see the pictures, and I have to avert my eyes
He's
because
a true devil
I feel
dog.
like
he's the true devil dog. That's how the
like-
hostess delicious snack was named after.
I feel like he's looking inside my thoughts.
He's in your soul. If you look long enough, you become him.
He wants me to do his bidding.
It's a Stephen King novel. I should write this. Astro, the devil.
And
Now,
what
if the
does-
Jims
what-
are watching, they're going to get very offended.
And what do your clients say when you want to see the dog? Come on, you want to see the dog?
Oh, come see the dog.
Come see the dog.
The last one I have, and I don't know, speed flossing. How fast you could floss? I thought that might be interesting. Otherwise, I don't. Do you have any sports you'd like to see in the World Games?
Ice crushing,
Ice crushing.
chewing on your ice.
Oh,
Ice.
ooh. Did you ever do that? That goes right. Oh, that just saying that gives me a nerve thing.
Well, I have chewy ice. It's good. I like chewing on it.
What about that? He gave me a thought. Eating ice cold ice cream, but you can't get so the brain freeze.
Ice cream headache.
Ice cream brain freeze. You can't stop eating. Whoever stops first loses. Oh, this would be great. This is the kind of Olympics that would get ratings. Not Bob Costas waxing poetic about somebody. I don't want to hear that anymore. I refuse to watch these Paris Games. I'm putting my foot down. I'm not watching this Olympics.
Well, I know how you feel about the French and their ways.
Thank you. I'm not a big fan of the French, nor of their famous sandwich, the French dip,
You know,
with au jus gravy.
actually, most of the French are very nice people. Though it's Paris that is the issue.
Have you been?
No, I haven't. But from
go.
what I know some French people, not from Paris, and they say, no, Paris, Persians are Parisian. What's the right term, Tony? For
Yes. You see the way he skips over me? He knows I wouldn't know.
because I know this is a Tony thing. So if you are a citizen of Paris, you are not a Persian, of course.
No.
Aren't
you just French?
No.
You are Paris. I know what you're trying to say. A barista?
No, like if you live in New York, you are a New Yorker.
Right.
If you live in Paris, you are a Parisian.
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 Parisians don't like Americans for the most part. Everyone else in Paris, the rest of the country of France, they're much nicer.
You Americans with your laptop computers and your cigarettes.
They're offended by McDonald's.
I'm offended by McDonald's.
We have a girl that I work with
We
who's
have a
just like
girl.
so impressed. She went there on a school trip, and she says, they still have, at Starbucks, they still have almond croissants there. There's no almond croissants at Starbucks here anymore. And she said, and you know what? They're better than ours. Oh, my God. She talks nothing but great things about Paris. And the almond croissants at Starbucks.
So the Starbucks she's talking about in Paris are better than the Starbucks. Now I wonder if you find that with a lot of restaurants. They say like McDonald's in China or different places have different things on the menu. Obviously, right? Are they allowed to?
There's different places.
They could do that. Here's Steve. The Kennedy Center Honors came out.
I saw that.
What do you think? We got Francis Ford Coppola. Mm-hmm. Bonnie Raitt.
Nice.
Arturo Sandoval.
Yes.
That's it.
No.
Oh, no, wait.
The Grateful Dead.
And the Grateful Dead.
Really?
Grateful
it says
Dead.
it will be honored.
Yeah, the Grateful Dead. That is, yeah, they will be honored just as a.
It's not.
Yes, it is, Steve.
No, wait, hold on.
The remaining members of the Grateful Dead will be there, and they'll be honored just like a performer. You're getting confused with the other thing. They are honoring a building and not a person.
Well,
they're
that's the Apollo.
Yes, that they are honoring the Apollo, which they have never done that before.
Well, yeah, they are on Sesame Street. I mean, it's not a building, but it's a show.
Yeah, it's true.
And when you honor Big Bird, that's
An institution.
it's
I
an
guess.
institution, is what it is. Exactly. Thank you, Tony. Dizzy Gillespie.
He hasn't been.
Lead guitarist and founding member Jerry Garcia. Oh, he died. It says here
He's dead.
he's dead, so he won't be there. John Mayer will be there playing.
John Mayer will be there. He plays with them.
Yes. Interesting. Wow. So it's going to be pretty good. The Harlem serve the okay. So yes, that'll be the Kennedy Center Honors. My mom likes that. She likes to watch that and see. I don't. Well, Francis, yeah, that'll be cool. They'll do that. That is,
Coppola? Oh my God, that'd be fantastic.
Bonnie Raitt. That's good. I like Bonnie Raitt. Very good. One day the Steve Square Show will be there.
Should be.
Thank you, Tony. Melissa Etheridge is going to be her next concert. This I thought was interesting. It's a docuseries. She's going to be performing. Where is she performing? At the
Where?
Leavenworth, Kansas prison.
It's very Johnny Cash.
That's what she says. She was inspired by his performance at Folsom Prison.
Folsom State Prison.
Folsom State Prison. See, now I'm feeling like that's your best audiences are prisoners and people that are incarcerated because they have to stay there and watch.
They were a great audience in the Blues Brothers.
Thank you.
That's right.
That's right. So maybe if we do a remote show, we could do it from a prison. There it is. Can you send that to Tony so he puts that up, or you don't want that up?
I don't know if I want.
Well,
that
why
up.
don't you just put it up by hand? Or you don't even want to do that?
I sent one to you, so you could do.
Did
I'll
you-
send one to Tony.
Yeah, send it to Tony.
Oh, good God.
Wait, can I didn't even, did you?
won't post it.
No.
Yeah, you could do it, Tony. That's why
No,
I'm
he
sending
gave you
it
the
to
okay.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you got. Oh, we got 10 minutes. Post that, baby. That's.
10 minutes. Oh,
I would. Oh, that's a young, dashing, debonair, a man about town. You had the whole world in front of you.
that was what happened.
No, you were on a game show. You had your big moment. You almost look like the host of that game show.
Tony sent on your Facebook Messenger. There you go.
So while Tony does that, I was thinking about how a lot of these performers are starting to do that. They're performing at prisons.
Yes.
So what would we do if we were on Long Island, like Riverhead? Maybe go to Riverhead.
Could do Riverhead. That's true.
How many prisons are on Long Island?
There's one right here.
There's
Is there
the
an
East
upper-
Meadow Jail. That's a jail. You wouldn't call that a prison.
That's more of a jail.
Yes.
That's like Mayberry County Jail, maybe, right?
Yes.
Now there's one in Seaford. Is that a jail too? That's a jail. That's Seaford,
No,
little
Seaford
7th
is the
precinct.
police station.
Oh, but they don't have. Now, do police stations have a jail there?
They might have
Probably a little
They
holding.
probably have a holding cell.
Yeah.
Come on, you've seen Barney Miller. They have holding.
Right,
cells.
right. There's 3
And
jails.
they chit chat.
And they chit-chat with the-
chit-chat with the cops.
Yes, I like. That would make a good TV sitcom. If they can only think of a TV sitcom that was set in a police station, like Dumbbells.
Dumb.
Boom.
What's going on?
Oh wait, hold on,
Oh
Steve-O.
my goodness, this is.
It'll take a minute. We don't see it yet, but the home office, the home viewers are seeing a
see,
look.
this
Look
is
at
a,
that. That is phenomenal.
Look at that.
A young debonair. Look at that.
That is just horrible. That is
Well,
just
it's
what
nothing.
happened. What happened?
Now, do you remember what question you were answering in that moment while you're? Oh, there it is. Look, it just popped up.
That was right after the Bob Goen, the host, was asking us to name.
The great Bob Goen.
Yes, to
Wonder
name
what happened to
all-
him.
To name the kids on The Simpsons.
Oh,
Bob Goen was an Entertainment Tonight host after John Tesh left.
really?
And for a brief amount of time, he hosted Wheel of Fortune. And after that, he kind of
I mean, he
Faded away.
he
He was
also
doing
played
different-
William Taft in the William Taft story.
So,
One of our fattest but pound for pound, one of our greatest presidents.
and the funny thing is, when I went to the studio to the show, I knew exactly what his car was. I said, "Oh, that must be Bob Goen's car," because he had vanity plates that said "I B Goen." Goen, which is how his name was spelled. I B
That
Goen.
Bob.
That Bob.
That is Bob. He would do something like that. I know him a little bit. I used to be a big fan of Bob Goen's. He actually was a bullpen catcher for the old Pirates, the late 70s
Yeah, the
Pirates.
old-
He was a bullpen catcher.
The
I'm thinking of Bob Guerin.
The
I'm
old,
thinking of Bob Guerin.
the old Pirates.
The old Bucks. The old Pittsburgh Bucks. They had the old railroad hats. Great uniforms. I didn't like the All-Star game uniforms. Did you care for them?
No.
Not a fan of that. Go back to letting them each wear their uniforms.
Yep.
Right? I think that is, just do that. They try to get too,
They look like Crayola crayons.
they did. It looked like pajamas or something. I mean, it just didn't look good. I like the old, let each team wear their uniform.
Just didn't look right.
Just didn't look right. Let each team wear,
Steve, we got a few minutes left. We do have to talk about tomorrow is a baseball game.
tomorrow is a baseball game.
Yes.
Are you going?
No, I'm not.
Are you going to any of the games?
And
Well, wait. Before you talk about that, I got one thing for you.
oh,
This I just wanted to ask you.
yeah,
Yes.
we don't have to talk about.
No, I do want to talk about.
We
but
talk
I don't.
about baseball every week anyway.
That's
we
true.
Could just talk about.
But I just wanted to read you this ask thing. It was. I thought you might be interested in this. That's why I had it. What do you say when your 20-year-old likes a rapper who advocates death and destruction in his rapping? It's hardcore rap, and it says,
This isn't Dear Amy, is it?
"It's Dear Eric."
So it's the new guy.
The
now.
new guy.
This is the new guy.
Right. This is the new guy.
This is the new guy.
So it says, my son follows him on social media, and it says, I know my son is no longer a child. I also know that the ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty by the bad people, but the silence or whatever she says. I'm trying to respect his boundaries. Should I let him continue to listen to this rapper and follow him on social media? What do you think about that? Like, do you worry about, this is tricky, because this leads into, I was trying to lead this into the Pete Rose documentaries coming out tomorrow.
Oh, that's tomorrow?
Tomorrow night. Or the 24th? Is that Wednesday? Maybe that's
Wednesday.
Wednesday, the 24th. So the Pete Rose documentary, it's called Charlie Hustle, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, right?
That's what they call him, so I assume that's what.
And
it
it's on
is.
HBO Max. And really, it's a whole look back, obviously, at Pete Rose. Now, are you someone that thinks he should be in the Hall of Fame? What's your opinion on Pete Rose? Then I'll ask you about the rapper. Then I'll ask you about the rapper.
Well, Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame now because obviously the MLB has
All in.
given up, and they have sold their soul to these companies, FanDuel and whatever. So they have no right to stop to do this any longer. He needs to be brought into the Hall of Fame immediately, even though I can't stand him.
What do you think, Tony?
I agree 100%. I can't stand him either, and but I agree everything Steve just said.
Okay. I like that. But you're supposed to, it's got to be one of those news shows where you have the banter back and forth. You have to take the opposing view and then have some
You
arguments.
don't have to do that.
I
All right,
love
don't.
Pete Rose.
All right. I love Pete Rose.
Yeah,
Charlie
that's
Hustle.
right.
Now,
The doc looks good. I'll say that. The documentary looks good.
yeah, it looks good, right? I saw the trailer. It looks really good. But again, he's trying to reinstate, and he's always lobbying for that. And Bartlett Giamatti, Paul Giamatti's dad,
Yep.
said, no bueno, Pete. And then later on, Pete had him killed. Or is that the story? No.
Paul
But he
just
did.
had a massive heart attack and died.
Well, that's terrible.
Too
what they
bad.
said.
For a brief shining moment, they had a commissioner that actually had a conscience, and
The Commish,
yes,
which was also one of my favorite shows.
yes, but that was a police commissioner,
Who played that? You should know this.
Michael Chiklis.
Of course.
And where was the police? Where was he a police commissioner of?
I don't know. New York? Well, something specific?
Okay. Where in New York? Give me a county.
Oh, was it Long Island?
Was not Long Island.
Oh, Queens County?
Was that Queens? Westchester.
Westchester.
I don't know if there was a
Interesting.
town. I know, Tony. Was there a town on the commish?
On the commish? That was a good show, the commish.
Yes, it was.
But I think so. But steroid guys, you don't think should be in the Hall of Fame?
That's questionable.
Steroid guys, you don't think should? Is that questionable, or are you?
I personally don't think they should be.
They should. Good. We all agree.
I don't know about that.
Fictional Eastbridge, New York.
Okay, so it's supposed to be Westchester. Yeah.
Oh.
I think it was. Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, I don't.
And they filmed it, of course, in Vancouver.
Of course. So what did you think about this rapper? Should the mother stop the son from listening to this rapper? Or, again, that's why I kind of tied in Pete Rose, because it's like these people that are whatever. They're an artist, they're an athlete, they're great at their craft, but they have these other frailties that might otherwise be subject to judgment. Do you look past that and just say, well, they're a great, I like their music and whatever. I'm not going to go out and murder somebody because this guy has that. Like, I like Biggie Smalls.
I just, you can't tell somebody, if you tell a kid you can't listen to that, they're going to listen to it. Something you can do about it.
Right. And there's people.
Especially a teenager.
Well, he's 20.
So what does Dear Eric say? Your new friend, Dear Eric.
It says, ugh, I hate this question. I hate the circumstances that make it so relevant. I hate the messiness that makes it so hard to answer.
I like this guy.
I hate that just before this chat, I was enjoying a video by my kid's team manager. Great kid, talented, works hard, but the music was set to a very, I won't say the word.
Even in Newsday? Wow.
Yeah, so, well, here's all I got. It's a parent's job to raise children, to find their way to sound moral reasoning. It is not a parent's job to do the moral reasoning for said child, or to get them to the point of perfect soundness, or to keep trying to rear them, which you never want to do, especially, I think that's what that Long Island
Who wants to be reared?
teacher was taken, his education certificate was taken away for that. So anyway, he really gives a minutia answer. There's not a lot of clarity in his answer. It's a lot of statements with quotes.
He kind of likes himself, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Dear Eric kinda likes himself.
It's more
He's
right.
a little full of himself.
Right, it's too much.
He's not dealing with the problem in
exactly.
at hand.
He's not. It's like when you pay by the hour to a therapist, and they go, "What do you think about that?"
He's very flourishy.
That's
with,
very interesting.
he's very
I want you to explore that, and
very
if you could just pay on the
flourishy
way
with the
out,
words there.
make that out to cash if you could.
He's very flourishy out with the words.
He is very flourishy. He's like me. A lot of baloney and no substance. A lot of baloney without the mustard. Are you a mustard guy or a mayonnaise guy?
Mustard.
Oh, I forgot the last thing. And we just have perfect timing. This was also on the History Channel last night. They had the battle between 7-Up and Sprite.
Really?
And they showed the story of how the two iconic soda brands started way back when.
Now, did Coke buy Sprite or did they actually invent Sprite?
Oh, I don't know. No, they didn't. It wasn't Coca-Cola then. No, they had.
Okay, so
they acquired them.
They acquired.
Right. So this was just two companies. These two guys, they were. One was in the Sprite world. One was a doctor, medical, and they were trying to come up with these kind of lemon limey sodas or lemon sodas, whatever. Anyway, do you find a difference? Do you prefer one? Are you a 7-Up, a Sprite?
I would call myself a 7-Up guy. I think Sprite might be a little
Sweet.
To me, it comes a little sweeter. It seems a little sweeter.
A little sweeter. Have you ever tasted both? 7-Up and Sprite?
Hate them both.
Too sweet?
No, I don't like the
Lemon lime?
no. All soda has. I'm having a brain fart.
Carbonation?
Carbonation. Thank you. Yeah, I don't like any soda.
Oh, you don't drink soda?
No.
Very good. The only carbonated thing I have, of course, is Celsius. But I agree. Don't roll your eyes.
Try not
So you
to.
said you're a 7-Up person. Now,
If I had a choice, yeah, 7-Up I would drink.
I remember playing that game 7-Up. Do you remember playing that in
School.
in
yeah.
school, right? How do you put your head down, you put your thumb
okay,
up?
put your, you
Something like that, right?
close
You
your
cover-
eyes,
Right.
and there's 7 people in front of the classroom. You close your eyes, put your heads down, with your thumbs up.
Oh, and they push your thumb
And
down.
someone put your thumb down, and you have to guess
Yes.
who took your thumb up?
Of the 7, or something
Yes.
like that. Yes. Very good.
And if you guess right, they go.
They go down.
Last person left wins.
Right. That was. See, you
Wow, I
learned.
can't remember.
You
I
learn.
can't
You
believe
Steve
I-
doesn't know any geometry, but he definitely knows how to play 7-Up in
It's the
school.
important stuff.
That's the important stuff that you learn in school. That would be another game I'd have in the World Games. 7-Up.
Let's go. Let's get some people. Get enough.
Get a
people,
couple of nations.
and we'll do it here in the room. We'll start testing it out here.
7-Up. But we don't. We need 4 more people to play 7-Up.
Wow.
Between the two of us, can we gather 4 more people?
You have all your little friends, you know.
I have friends. Well, you're Mr. Social Media. You have a following.
I have no follow.
You. What are you talking about? People love you on anything and everything. Friday nights between. What time are you on?
6 and 8,
Between 6 and 8.
I think. Yeah, 6 and 8.
You know what time you're on. That's the prime time hour. You get the
Yes.
prime time show. Your buddy Rob gets the after hours.
8 to 11 is prime time.
Wow,
What do
he
you
does a
think?
3-hour show.
Just 3 hours.
Oh my! I can't even do an hour of this nonsense. 3 hours, but he's playing music.
But you're playing music though.
Yeah.
So it's not that.
But he has a lot of chit chat, right? Because his thing is about talking
yes,
about
he does
the
a lot.
song.
Talks a lot. He talks a lot about the Beatles.
Right.
Sometimes he goes off topic and talks about weird stuff too. It could be anything from what he ate to his medical condition at the moment. I don't know. It's like he will, you know.
Now, how much chit chat are you allowed, or do you have free reign? Doesn't everybody?
I have free reign.
Have you ever gotten in trouble on that show for anything? And you don't have to say, but has anything you not a major, but did you say something?
I
once?
got in trouble a few weeks ago.
Oh, I like it. I see. I could get it out of people.
I said, well, I didn't get in too much trouble. I said, and we could say it here because
Okay,
I said asshole on my show.
Okay.
And it's not enough to get, thrown off the air or whatever, but it's against the community standards of the station itself.
Okay.
They don't want us saying that.
Right.
And so I had to press the dump button. So there's a dump button which will take it out because we're on a delay.
Okay.
So it takes it out, and then it, you don't hear it. It just kind of automatically edits it out, and you don't hear it. But every time somebody presses that dump button, the station manager
Knows.
will always get a text saying
Oh.
the dump button was pressed, so he knows.
So if someone has
So
it a lot
he-
during their show,
So he'll text you or whatever, and he says, you're lucky.
well, if you caught it, how much
Yes.
time do you have to realize you said something and hit the button,
A few seconds.
and then or else it goes on?
Yep.
Wow. And then what would have happened if you didn't hit the dump button? Would that have been worse?
It wouldn't have been good.
This show needs a dump button for the whole hour.
This studio used to have one years ago. It was audio only in here, and we had one. But no, we don't need one.
Before I go off,
It's governors.
I did stand up at the Cup years ago.
Oh, years
I
ago,
told you
yeah,
this story,
yes,
right?
yeah.
And they green lighted me off stage. I got green lighted. I guess I didn't know what that meant at the time. So the guy was
It
holding
means
and-
go, right? Keep on going.
Keep going.
Yeah,
You're
there you
fantastic.
go.
No, he said, get off the stage right now.
Yeah, but that's normal.
Is that normal?
Yeah, you get a lot of comics get lit to let them know you have like a minute
okay,
left.
Okay, I see. This was very early. It was like the first or second time I ever did it. So I didn't know. So he was like,
So you were fine.
I was fine. Okay.
We got to get you on stage here.
I don't know. I have to
think-
put some
I think
material
you'd be
together.
great. I
I'd
think-
like to do more. I don't like put jokes together or routine.
no.
I like to be more
I
like a
think
host or
your
something that
talent-
talks to the
You really are a good MC.
MC. I would more enjoy
and
that.
I noticed that early on in my friendship with Steve because I would sit.
Oh, that's
I can
nice.
remember one day we're sitting in the office after a long day at the gym.
That's true.
We're sitting there in the office. There are a couple of girls who work with us,
Right.
and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, I'm not paying too much attention. All of a sudden, Steve is like doing literally we did a little audience warm up with these girls. It was like literally he was like, I could see Steve. I said, you know what, Steve? I could have seen you like in
Warming
a
up a
studio,
crowd.
talking,
Warming
interviewing
a
the
crowd.
crowd,
Yes,
and stuff
things like that.
you
I
know?
would, but you can't find jobs like that, or even for free to
I'm
do it.
producing a show in the Giggle Room.
Okay,
Why don't you come up and do 5 minutes?
really?
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Should I try it?
It's in.
When is the date? What do I have to prepare?
It's November.
Oh, I can prepare stuff by November.
2nd. I believe it's November 2nd.
Yeah? You're producing it? So you're going to host and bring each one out? Or how many comics?
I'm actually not hosting that night. But,
Okay.
But yeah, I'm producing it.
And so how many?
There'll be. There's 4 comedians that night.
Oh, wow.
So.
You get 5 minutes each?
No,
like-
but I'm only giving you 5
Oh,
minutes.
I see. Well, no, Tony, let's talk about this. I think 5 is 4 minutes too long. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and now it's back to Tony. Hello, ladies and germs. I just flew in from Jersey. Boy, my arm's tired. My wife told me, take me to some place I've never been before. I said, go to the kitchen.
Then I'll greenlight you.
Have you ever seen a $5 bill? No, Steve knows that. Steve knows that joke.
I love the $5 bill.
Should I do that? The $5 bill joke?
You know.
And on that note, no, let's not go there.
Steve,
Dump button. Dump me.
Steve, you're in the giggle room. You don't have to worry about impressionable children and older women. You can do your.
Those are my 2 fan bases:
could do
impressionable
your-
children and older women. They're
Obviously.
they're the core nucleus. If I was running for president, that would be my base.
The material
older
he
women
was
and
doing,
impressionable
the
children.
material he was doing at the cup, I mean, was definitely not appropriate for that audience. So.
Oh no, it wasn't appropriate for people sipping on hot cocoa.
And there'll be no Goldschlagers before the show either.
I
Steve.
know. Take it easy. Here we go. And that'll wrap up today's show. 6 minutes late. Sorry, Tony. But do you have another show after this?
No.
Oh, okay. So Tony's out of here. We're all out.
Outta here.
Thanks once again for jumping in. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Tonester.
Thank you, pal.
And maybe we'll be here next Monday or somewhere, 6:30 on the Steve Squared Show. For all of us, I'm your funny man, Stevie K. Have a great night.
Jim, bye.
Good night. Oh, Richard Simmons. Have your granola. Have it on the way home.